Bitcoin's price has been on an absolute tear this year, and we're going to discuss some other ways that you can get involved in cryptocurrencies without necessarily buying the cryptocurrency projects themselves. The mainstream media is paying attention to what Bitcoin has been doing all year, and they're finally starting to pay attention to it, but I'm going to show you why that's making me a little bit skeptical. And finally, we're going to talk about some things that I found in my research, and hopefully it's interesting enough to spark something to make you do a little more deep diving into cryptocurrency. Welcome back to another episode of Where the Money At. We're on episode 46, and you know we keeping it rocking and rolling. So let me share my screen and let's get right into it. We got Bitcoin sitting at 43,900, basically 44,000, up 5.2% in the last 24 hours, 15% in the last 7 days. That's absolutely ridiculous. We got Ethereum sitting at 22,900. We got BNB sitting at $232. XRP sitting at 62 cents, and Solana sitting at 63.50. So let's look at the price action on the daily on TradingView. Now, I had Bitcoin here sitting on an uptrend for the last couple of days, and it has absolutely blasted through that. And if we just look back, the main topic we've been talking about is what's been going on year over year with Bitcoin. So let's go from the beginning of the year. Bitcoin is up 177%, give or take. That's an absolute great year, but there's other things around Bitcoin that it's influencing as well. There's so many other things that you can get into that aren't necessarily cryptocurrencies. There's more that you can invest in that's more than these projects that you can find here on CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap or anything like that. There's Bitcoin mining stocks. There's blockchain. There's traditional stocks that in companies that already exist that have blockchain projects. There's options that you can place up on these stocks. There's different Bitcoin related ETFs, Ethereum related ETFs, and there'll be more cryptocurrency projects coming out in the future. There's futures that you can invest in. So let's dive into a couple of those things. Let's look at the largest Bitcoin miners by market capitalization. Now, what are Bitcoin miners? They produce Bitcoin, and that's their product that they make and sell for profit. So we have Marathon Digital Holdings, Riot Blockchain, Hut 8 Mining, and these companies are not doing small numbers. This is a $3.3 billion market cap. Riot Blockchain is sitting at 3.1%, and in the last 24 hours, they're both up 8%. CleanSpark is up 16%, and CleanSpark may be one of the up-and-coming mining stocks. But as you can see, with the high rise, with the 5% increase in Bitcoin price, the mining stocks are going high as well. But what do I mean when I say traditional companies that have blockchain projects? Companies like Circle, Coinbase like Square, Coinbase like products like PayPal and JP Morgan. Now, what do you mean like PayPal and JP Morgan? Like, what do they have to do with blockchain? Well, let's remember, PayPal a couple months ago released a stable coin. PayPal on Monday became the first major U.S. fintech company to offer its own crypto token with a dollar-pegged stablecoin known as PayUSD. And this was back in August. And let's not forget, JP Morgan has a project called Onyx, and they have their own stablecoin as well called JPMC Coin. Let me just read a quick summary about it. Our integral product solution, JPM Coin, is a permissioned system that serves as a payment rail and deposit account ledger that allows participation in JP Morgan clients to transfer US dollars held by deposits with JP Morgan within the system. So they just made a stable coin so they could transfer money back and forth. So a lot of these companies have blockchain related projects. So along with Bitcoin going up, which I would always, invest in buying a little bit at least of the underlying asset, not financial advice, but you should buy some Bitcoin, buy some Ethereum, but these are influencing other financial products to be created. So you don't necessarily have to buy cryptocurrency to be involved in it. And there's many other ways you can do it. And I highly recommend that you do your own research to do it. So we see that the price is going crazy. We see there's a bunch of financial products being created based off of these things. And, it's bringing money in all around this ecosystem. But let's get into the mainstream media and how they're viewing it. Now, let me tell you why I'm skeptical. Because once the mainstream media starts making price predictions, that's when I start to bag back. I mean, we've already had a stellar year, up 170%. And it could keep going. If it did, great. I'm already in. It would be amazing for me and everybody in the crypto community. But I'm a little bit skeptical because we've gone so high this year. And this is looking like one of a crazy, it could be a blow off top for the year. So CNBC says crypto execs say the bull run is underway and it could lead to $100,000 Bitcoin in 2024. See, once they start making price predictions and they start talking about bull run and they want to get everybody excited, that makes me skeptical, because once they start getting into it, it's probably the end of the party. It's probably time to bag back, because I've seen this before, and this happened when Bitcoin hit $20,000. All the news media started covering it and it went back down. Well, let's just hear what some people have to say. And this is the CEO from Ledger. So let's hear what he has to say about it.
The sentiment is now very positive. It feels that the industry went through a full cycle. Down from 21, 2 years of hard work, of building, of cleaning what had to be cleaned. And now it feels that 23 was a year to get ready for the bull run that is yet to come. But the sentiment is very hopeful for 24 and 25.
So you mentioned the bull run there. We'll get a bit into that. Are you seeing a pickup in activity at the moment for your business?
Yes. I mean, if you look at 23, Bitcoin is up, 100%, more than 100%.
All right. So this is the CEO of Ledger. Tell me what he said that dealt with Ledger. He didn't say anything about the innovations going on in Ledger. He said they cleaned what they had to clean, but he mentioned that 2 seconds out of the whole time he talked. He talked about the percentage Bitcoin is up and the amount of activity. He talked straight price action. You know what I'm saying? So it sounds like a hype piece. You know what I'm saying? But it's just a small section of the interview. I wish I heard more of it, so I'm not just scrutinizing them on one part he said. But as far as this piece goes, this article goes, they only took the part where he talked about price. And this whole thing is a price prediction piece. And to be honest with you, price prediction is the last thing you need to be worried about inside of crypto. You need to be worried about who's building, who's fixing what they need to fix, and who's innovating right now. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you decide what projects you get into, not based off of price. You think about price after the fact. The price is a byproduct of the hard work that these companies have put in. When the bull run really kicks in, and this could be it, but I'm not convinced. When the bull run really kicks in, that's when price will matter. And then when that happens, it's time to get out of these products. Not financial advice, but I just want to keep you thinking in that mindset. And I think you should always be skeptical in this space, because there's so much nonsense going on, and they want you to pay attention to price. If they want you to pay attention to one thing, you should really be looking somewhere else. But let's continue into it. Bloomberg expects Bitcoin price to surpass 500,000 in upcoming crypto super cycle. They get into why and stuff like that, but the headline is $500,000 crypto super cycle. Like, why do they want you to pay so much attention to the price now? And this came out yesterday. I mean, this came out yesterday. So when they start putting out crazy numbers like this, and to be honest with you, Bitcoin could go to 500,000 in the next cycle, or maybe not in the next cycle, but eventually, I believe that the asset class could reach $500,000 for one single Bitcoin. But that's not what we need to focus on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is about the money. It is about making money. So let me not conscrew that. But they want you to pay attention to price so much now, and I wonder why. You know what I'm saying? Look, we went very high in 1 year, and it may be time for a cool down. Like, we have had 12 months, not 12 straight months of price action, but over the last 12 months, we have went up 170%, which is an amazing year. But I think it's time to cool down. I think we need to take a step back and be a little skeptical of why everybody wants us to pay attention to it. So that's price action. That's all the financial products coming out and all those type of things. But I was doing some research, because I like to look at cryptocurrency from the standpoint of, where is the money going? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are financial institutions doing about digital assets and crypto? What is the old money looking at? And they see the rising in price action. They see these mining companies with these high valuations, and they see these new companies coming out building on digital assets and cryptocurrency. So they're funding them. So I found this one company that just got $10 million in funding. So I did a little research, and it was interesting to find out what they do. So digital asset platform Coinchange scores $10 million to grow its service. And you need to pay attention, because These are the people who are investing in crypto startups and crowdfunding bigger blockchain products. But not necessarily, we're not necessarily going to break down this article, but they did get 10 million. And I wondered, why did they get 10 million? Like, 10 million isn't a lot, but it's a good amount of money to expand a company's operations. So I'm not shilling Coinchange, but it's very interesting what they do. So Coinchain.io, an AI-powered earnings for exchanges, banks, etc. Embed our DeFi earn feature into your app and let your customers grow their stablecoin balances daily without any lockups. So what they did was they got a stablecoin platform, or they're getting on blockchains that give you yield, and they packaged it up into an API and they're selling it as a service. So I know you've heard of infrastructure as a service, cloud as a service, software as a service. These guys are doing what they call yield as a service. And I find that extremely interesting. And these are the type of innovations and products that we need to be paying attention to, because this is the future. Whenever you want to get to the bleeding edge, or whenever you want to find the best opportunities, you have to get up on the information and get to the edge of it so you can see what's coming and see the new stuff that's coming out. And I thought this was super interesting. And I was also wondering, why did they get $10 million? So I went to their About Us page, and their website looks kind of good. I research it like I do any other cryptocurrency project, and their website looks good. I think the idea is great. They have their whole C-suite available with their Facebooks on their webpage, and they got their whole team on the page. Now, I'm not shilling this because I don't think there's a way that I could invest in it, and I don't have a product that I'm incorporating this into, but I just really, really think it's super interesting. Now let's go to yield as a service. Now, when we talk about cryptocurrency, if you just say cryptocurrency, that can mean a lot of things. That can mean social media. That can mean gaming. That can mean decentralized finance, which is the area we're in right now. You take any traditional market or industry that we have right now and put decentralized in front of it, now you got cryptocurrency. And any of these companies can begin to make their own tokens. Like PayPal made their own stablecoin. JP Morgan Chase made their own stablecoin. What's to stop other companies from making their own tokens, whether they're stablecoins or actual cryptocurrencies? You know what I'm saying? So I just want y'all to pay attention to that. But I just thought this was super interesting. But let's try to break down what they do really quickly, and I'll talk about the pros and cons and the dangers of what they do. So they have 25 different protocols, which are 25 different cryptocurrency projects and softwares that take money and try to create yield based off of the virtual currencies that they have. So they have 25 protocols, 100 liquidity pools in 70 countries. So they basically do what banks do behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? When you give your money to a bank, they invest it on the back end and they give you a yield. Same thing that these companies do, except crypto allows you to dive into it a little bit more without it being so damn boring. But that's what they do. And there are pros and cons to this, because these platforms are just other companies. They're other softwares that were created to create money, and they can fail. So, I mean, if you heard of Terra Luna, look up Terra Luna. What happened? That's a company that was producing yield, or a software that was producing yield with their cryptocurrency, and it failed. And everybody who had money involved lost out. Maybe some people recovered their money, but I didn't dive into the incident too deep. But there's a million software companies, there's a million cryptocurrency companies that fail every day with people's money locked up into it. So those are the things that I want you to pay attention to. I thought this was super interesting. Yield as a service. Dive into yields, dive into DeFi, dive into more of these cryptocurrency products and projects, because there's a million coming out every day, and we don't know who the next winner is going to be. Like, I'm not one of those channels that's going to tell you should invest in this coin. The only thing that I'll confidently tell you maybe you should get into is Bitcoin and Ethereum. And then other than that, it is up to you. I can't tell you get into XRP. I can't tell you get into Solana. You have to make that decision for yourself. I can tell you which coins I like and why. And at the end of the day, I do have a responsibility, because that may influence something that you invest in. That's why I'm so careful about what I talk about. But that's just is what it is, and that's cryptocurrency. So like always, I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, man, and I'm gonna holler at y'all.